these things, it's almost, in some cases, people don't want to hear it. Some people just don't want to hear it. Like, no, they're used to their life, they're used to doing whatever they're doing in their life. But most people, it's almost like they've never heard any of this stuff before. They've gone to Shiur Torah, they've gone to the Beit Knesset, they've done, they've prayed here and there, they had a bar mitzvah. But when you tell them, listen, you're not allowed to drive on Shabbat, and they tell you, no, but what if I'm driving to shul? And you explain to them, no, you can't drive to shul. You can't do a mitzvah by doing a sin. There's no such thing. And you explain to the people what the significance of each mitzvah and what we need to do, and it's like, it's brand new. I have one guy that's been studying. I've been studying with him for about a little over a year, and before he started coming to my shulim, it was amazing. He's been driving to shul for 20 years, and he told me no one ever told me I'm not allowed to drive. No one ever told me, and that's unfortunately the mentality today with rabbis and with other people that we're so concerned, especially in the United States, we're so concerned about being politically correct that we forget about being correct. We're so concerned about not turning people off and being scared that, if I tell him the truth, maybe he's not going to come back, maybe he's not going to donate, maybe he's going to not like it, maybe he's going to be offended, maybe. And people start doing the cheshbon of Shamayim, they start doing the accounting of Shamayim, they start deciding, what is going to happen, as if they know the future. You don't know anything, you're just a human being. You start from a, putrid seed, and you live your life as a body, and then you go back into the ground like every other human being. The worms and maggots eat us, and then we go and Neshama leaves. That's it. We don't know anything about the future. We're not prophets. So when we decide for people of what they can handle, what they can't handle, we're trying to be mini prophets. It's not our job to be prophets. This is what Hashem wrote, and that's all we say. It's not our business to say what, to decide which part is good, which part is not good. I'm sure that when Hashem wrote the Torah, He took us into our generation into mind and said, okay, there's going to come a generation that's so far from Torah that people are going to be scared of keeping Shabbat, or people are going to be scared of, they're going to be embarrassed to wear a kippah in the street because they don't want their non-Jewish friends to make fun of them. It's going to be a generation. I'm sure He took us into mind. He created the heaven and the earth. I'm sure He took us into mind. It's not our job to decide for people what they can handle, what they can't handle. With the basics. Now, of course, there are some things that are above the basics, and you need to know how to tell people how to, things to do. If somebody doesn't know anything, you can't talk to them in a way where you pretty much tell them, listen, by tomorrow you have to keep all 613 mitzvot. Even the ones that are not relevant to us, you have to keep. You can't. It's going to overwhelm them. But you can't tell them, listen, it's okay for you to violate Shabbat openly and, because you're not ready for it. There's no such thing. You have to tell people, listen, you have to keep Shabbat. If you're not ready for it, that's your business. But at least you need to know that you need to do it. So this is just like at work. If your boss is coming to you, he says, listen, I need you to bring in $100,000 every month worth of sales. Right now, you just started. You're only bringing in $5,000 a month. So he's not going to fire you tomorrow because you didn't get to $100,000. He can't expect you to make $100,000 by your second day, or by your second week, or even by your second month. But he has to give you some type of goal that you have to aim towards. You have to get to this point. You have to know what the goal is in order for you to get there. Because if you don't know what the goal is, how are you ever going to get there? You're just a blind. It's like a chicken without a head. You have no idea where you're going. So if you tell somebody, listen, it's okay for you to drive to shul or drive on Shabbat and not keep Shabbat for now, and eventually you can keep Shabbat, the reason why that's a flawed strategy, despite the fact that it's very, very popular today, where people tell people that they could drive on Shabbat as long as they go into Beit Knesset, or maybe one day they'll do tshuva, it's a completely flawed mentality, because in a human mindset, we're always going to listen to the Yetzer Hara's opinion. The Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, is always going to give us his opinion. And he's going to tell us eventually, even if we're starting to keep mitzvot in 2 months, and 3 months, and 4 months, and 5 months, and then eventually the rabbi comes there and goes, okay, listen, it's time for you to keep Shabbat. He says, why? It's 6 months into it. Yeah, but if it was good for 6 months not to keep Shabbat, let's see what happens over the next 6 months without keeping Shabbat. So a year passes, And the rabbi comes back, okay, no, it's time for you to keep Shabbat. Yeah, but if it was good for me not to keep Shabbat, you said it was good. It was okay for me not to keep Shabbat for 6 months. You said it was okay. I'm new. I still feel like I'm new. I know I'm doing it for you. I still feel like I'm new. So another year passes. Another year. And the next thing you know, the rabbi doesn't ask anymore. So 20 years go by, and he's still not keeping Shabbat. But he feels like he's a tzaddik, because he goes to shul. So that's why it's not our responsibility to decide for people what they can do, what they can't do. You tell them what God said, you tell them what is our responsibility, and you don't judge them if they can't do it, but you tell them, listen, this is where you need to aim towards. Be'ezrat Hashem, you get to it soon.